Council, the constitutional right to life of the unborn starts from the moment of conception, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Before conception, there is no constitutional life of the unborn. There is no constitutional right to life of the unborn.
Yes, your conception referring to fertilization, Your Honor.
Yeah, we'll go into that. But before conception, there is no right to life of the unborn, correct? Before conception.
Yes, Your Honor.
So before conception, you don't have any problem with the use of condom, ligation, or vasectomy, correct? Before conception.
Prior to
Conception.
Conception, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You define conception as the union of the egg and the sperm to result in the fertilized ovum, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. From that moment, you're saying there's already life, and that fertilized ovum deserves protection under the Constitution. Correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the other hand, the respondents are saying that conception happens upon the implantation of the fertilized ovum on the uterus, correct?
That's what they're saying, Your Honor.
So, if you are correct that life starts upon fertilization of the ovum, even before reaching the uterus, then the RH bill will be unconstitutional, correct?
Yes, that's our position,
But
Your Honor.
if you are wrong, and life starts upon implantation of the fertilized ovum, then the RH bill will be constitutional, correct?
If I may say something, Your Honor?
Yeah, because you're saying
that's,
that.
Yes.
Okay. So it's now a question of when does conception occur? From
Yes.
the time of fertilization, that means the union of the egg and the sperm, or upon implantation of the fertilized ovum on the wall of the uterus.
Yes.
Okay. So you're asking the 15 members of this court, none of whom is a doctor, to decide when this conception happens, correct?
The records of the Constitutional Commission I believe, Your Honor, are clear that conception refers to fertilization, and that fertilization is the meeting of the egg and the sperm, resulting in the formation of a fertilized ovum or zygote.
So you're saying that the issue of when conception occurs is a legal question. That's what you're saying.
In effect, Your Honor, that's already settled by the Constitutional Commission records or by the Constitutional Commission itself.
Yeah, but you're saying that you're asking us to decide that this court must decide a medical issue when conception happens. Is that what you're saying?
If I may say, Your Honor, it's not a medical issue anymore, in that it's an issue that's not settled in the medical profession.
So if it is not settled in the medical profession, how do you expect us to rule? Because we will have to decide this on the basis of scientific and medical evidence.
Yes, if I may, that's what I was saying, Your Honor. It is not a medical issue because it is settled in the medical profession as shown in the medical textbooks that I cited, and even the ethical guidelines of POGS, or Philippine Obstetrical Gynecological Society, is very clear that life begins at fertilization.
Okay, you are citing, you have authorities to support your view that life starts at fertilization. Respondents have also cited authorities to say that life starts at implantation of the fertilized ovum. Correct?
Well, yes, Your Honor.
So both sides have authorities to support their view, correct? And these are medical issues.
If, Your Honor, please, I
Do
don't...
you think the court can decide this issue here when conception happens? Or would it be better for this court to leave it to Congress to decide?
With due respect, Your Honor, that's precisely the intention of the Constitutional Commission, Your Honor. They did not want to leave it to Congress to determine when the beginning of human life is. And Your Honor, the Constitutional Commission has already settled during its deliberations that conception is fertilization, and that's the meeting of the sperm and the egg, Your Honor.
The Constitutional Commission did not want a Roe versus Wade decision in this country, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
But the Roe versus Wade does not involve conception. It does not involve conception. The issue there is not conception.
Yes, Your Honor, that's only
It's the
one.
termination of a pregnancy. That's given already. That the intention of the framers was to prevent a Roe versus Wade decision. But that is not the issue here. Correct?
If Your Honor, please, that's just one of the reasons of the Constitutional Commission for coming up with Section 12, Article 2, to prevent the Supreme Court from ever coming up with a decision similar to Roe versus Wade. But in citing that as a reason, it had to make clear when fertilization or conception actually happens and when life actually starts.
No, when the framers put that phrase, from the moment of conception, legally, constitutionally, we cannot come out with a Roe versus Wade decision anymore. That's the end of it. Because Roe versus Wade happens much beyond conception.
Right, sure.
Trimester.
Yes, trimester framework. There's a trimester framework.
That has been achieved already. That is not the issue here. From the moment of conception prevents Roe versus Wade, and I don't think we can come out with a Roe versus Wade decision. So the intention of the framers have been achieved. It's different now. You are questioning, you're raising the issue when conception occurs. And medical authorities are not even sure when. They are divided. How do you expect the court to decide this?
I am very sorry, Your Honor, to disagree with Your Honor, but that's why the authorities are there, Your Honor, to show that life begins at fertilization. And that's the clear constitutional intent. Life begins at fertilization, and fertilization is a meeting of the egg and the sperm.
The Constitution says from the moment of conception. It does not say from fertilization.
Yes, Your Honor. But if we look at the deliberations, at the records of the Constitutional Commission, there were extensive deliberations on this, Your Honor.
What I know from my reading of the deliberations, they wanted to prevent a Roe versus Wade decision. And that's achieved. We can never have a Roe versus Wade decision here.
That's only one of the reasons, Your Honor. But a very important part of the deliberations, Your Honor, was for them to define exactly, Your Honor, when human life begins, and that is at fertilization. Conception is interpreted to mean fertilization, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Counsel. Counsel, does the RH law define when conception occurs?
No.
It does
the
not.
RH law?
Yes.
No.
Does the RH law safeguard that the fertilized ovum will reach the womb of the mother?
Safeguard that it will reach?
Is the policy of the RH law to ensure that the fertilized ovum will be implanted on the womb?
There is no such policy. Well, it says...
What does it? It says that the state guarantees to distribute methods, devices, supplies which do not prevent the implantation of a fertilized ovum as determined by the FDA. So the policy is to ensure or to safeguard that the fertilized ovum will reach the wall of the uterus, correct? That's the policy of the law, correct?
Yes.
And the law, in fact, says any drug device that has the effect of preventing the implantation of the fertilized ovum is the same as abortion, because they are called what do you call it? Abortifacients.
Abortifacient.
So the policy is, in fact, to ensure that the fertilized ovum will reach the womb of the mother, correct? That's the policy of the law. Correct?
Well, that's the textual policy of the law.
The text says that. So
yes.
We have to go by the text, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So the law does not say that life starts at implantation, because the law in fact protects the travel of the fertilized ovum to the mother's womb, correct? The law, if you look at the law, it repeats and repeats that to anything that the government shall not distribute anything that prevents the fertilized ovum from reaching the wall of the uterus, correct? That prevents implantation. That's the policy.
Textually,
that's the text.
Yes, that's a text.
So there is no conflict between your definition of conception and the definition of conception as implied, as textually implied in the law. Because the law protects the travel of the fertilized ovum to the uterus.
Yes, yes.
So there is no difference. The law, the intention of the law is the same as your intention, that life begins at fertilization, correct?
Okay. Put down, no? as written down in the law.
Yes, as written down in the law, and we have to decide whether the law is constitutional as it is written, correct?
Not when certain ambiguities arise because of certain phrases written all over the law.
Certain ambiguities. What are these?
Okay, the phrase we mentioned in Section 9, the hormonal hormonal contraceptives that may be used as abortifacients.
But
and when the law, yes, Your Honor, and when the law mandates the purchase, distribution, and use of hormonal contraceptives, which are, abortifacients, and which the law admits have abortive capacity and can be used as abortifacients, then we begin to read the law more closely, Your Honor.
That will still be determined by the FDA, as determined by the Food and Drug Administration. We cannot determine whether this drug will prevent the travel of the fertilized ovum to the wall. We cannot do that. You have to start at the FDA before you reach here. We have to look at the law, and the law says it becomes unlawful if it prevents the implantation of the fertilized ovum on the wall, as determined by the FDA. You have not shown that. Where is the certification of the FDA? There's none. You're jumping the gun. You have come here on the assumption that all of this will prevent the fertilized ovum from reaching the wall of the uterus.
Because that's the very nature of abortifacient, Your Honor.
Yes, but the drug may or may not. We don't know. That's why you first go to the FDA and test that drug and come here if you don't agree. Because you cannot just come here and say all of these drugs violate the Constitution. Because it turns out that this law has the same intention as your definition of life.
But not
the law protects the travel of the fertilized ovum to the wall of the uterus.
If
you
Your
admit that textually.
Textually, Your Honor. But then, I suppose legislative intent may also be determined according to Bayan versus Comelec from extraneous sources. And when the proponents, most active proponents of the law, like Representative Lagman, begin to say that life begins at implantation, there's no life at fertilization, then I guess it's something that we need to look into very seriously, Your Honor.
Whatever Congressman Lagman said, I do not find it in the law. I look at the law and do not read the law with what Congressman Lagman said.
No,
he said that it's not in the law, and I do not consider that.
Yes, Your Honor, but it's also, but we can also consider the legislative intent, considering all these contradictions in the law, Your Honor.
Okay, so
we have to look at the
here.
legislative intent.
Let's be clarified. Textually, the law does not say that life starts at implantation. Correct?
Yes.
Textually, the law says that the fertilized ovum's travel to the uterus shall be safeguarded. Correct?
Yes. If Your Honor, please, when the law advocates or mandates the purchase of contraceptives, then you begin to...
No. The law says the state shall distribute devices, drug supplies, which do not prevent the implantation of the fertilized ovum on the uterus. The law says that.
Do not... but the law also mandates...
Okay, do you agree that the law says the state guarantees universal access to methods, devices, supplies which do not prevent the implantation of a fertilized ovum as determined by FDA? The law says that, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So what does it mean? The law says the government will distribute only drug supplies and devices that do not prevent the implantation of fertilized ovum on the uterus. So it protects the travel of the fertilized ovum to the uterus, correct?
Textually, yes.
So there's no difference between your concept of your definition of conception and the law's intention to protect life at conception upon fertilization of the ovum, correct? You want to protect the fertilized ovum's travel to the uterus. That is the intention of the law, correct?
Yes. Well, that is that's
Textual.
what's stated in the Declaration of Policy, Your Honor.
Yes, that is the textual meaning of the law.
But I would say that that's contradicted by the other provisions which mandate purchase of hormonal contraceptives, which are abortifacients.
What is that section?
Okay, let me just look. When the law says, okay, it's all over actually. It's page, what page is this? D.
Section
2D. Second paragraph. The state likewise guarantees universal access to medically safe, although it says non-abortifacient, effective, legal, affordable, and quality reproductive health care services, which do not prevent implantation of a fertilized ovum.
Yes.
As determined.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
So, in other words, it must not prevent the implantation of the fertilized ovum. Now, if there is a drug that prevents, and the FDA certifies it does not, you can come to us. But not now. There's no controversy here. You agree with the intention of the textually the law says that life is protected at fertilization. That is your position. That is the position of the law. Then why are you here?
Because, Your Honor, there's a basic there's certain provisions have created ambiguities. While if you look
yes,
at
what is that provision? Point out to me the specific provision.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, Your Honor. The Section 9. Section 9, Your Honor, it says, for the purpose of this act, so I suppose that refers to the law, any product or supply included or to be included in the essential drugs list must have a certification from the FDA that said product and supply is made available on the condition that it is not to be used as an abortifacient.
What section are you referring?
Section 9, Your Honor.
What's the title?
Okay. The Philippine National Drug Formulary System and Family Planning Supplies.
Where does it, so you're referring to the last sentence of the first paragraph?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
go ahead.
Your Honor.
For the purpose of this act, any product or supply included or to be included in the EDL must have a certification from FDA that said production and supply is made available on the condition that it is not to be used as an abortifacient. What's wrong with that?
So how will FDA be able to certify that it's not going to be used as an abortifacient? FDA will not be able to go after each and every citizen, every woman, to make sure that she doesn't use it as abortifacient, Your Honor. We quite do not understand that, Your Honor. And then that is also repeated.
It probably means that FDA will test the drug, correct? And see if it is it will prevent the implantation of the fertilized ovum on the wall.
No, but it says here, it gives the impression that it, even if it's an abortifacient, it may still be distributed, provided it's not used as an abortifacient.
No, that's not how I read it. If that is only your objection, I don't think you will get by. Are you saying that because of this sentence, the law is unconstitutional? Is that what you mean?
Not only that, Your Honor.
But I don't see here a statement that the FDA can distribute a drug that prevents the implantation of the fertilized ovum on the wall. There's nothing here that says that.
But that's the implication, Your Honor, when it says it is going to be made available on the condition that it is not to be used as an abortifacient. So it gives the impression that it may be
because there
made
are
available.
drugs that can be used. There are several drugs that are multi-purpose or may have a byproduct side effect as an abortifacient. And that's the meaning of this. It doesn't mean that they will actively distribute products that will cause abortion.
So again, we're trying...
if this is what you're pointing us as the provision in the law that will make it unconstitutional, I think it's very weak. What else? What are the other provisions?
Okay. So, Section 7, all accredited public health facilities shall provide a full range of modern family planning methods. It shall also, a full range refers to, this should include hormonal contraceptives and IUDs.
So you're saying that because of the phrase full range, the law is unconstitutional? Is that what you're saying?
Because that thought, Your Honor, is all over the RH law.
Okay, what else? What are the other provisions?
Here, reproductive health care, in the definition. In the definition, Your Honor, that's Q, 4Q. Reproductive health care refers to the access to a full range of methods, facilities, services, and supplies. And this should also include the hormonal contraceptives. So it's reproductive health care.
So whenever you see the phrase full range of methods, for you it includes...
yes, Your Honor.
Abortifacients.
Yes, because they should also refer to hormonal contraceptives and IUDs.
Okay, what else?
Well, when you talk of family planning, also letter E.
What section?
I think it's the same section. Section
UI? L?
Section 4E. Section 4E.
family planning. So what's wrong with this?
And to have access to a full range of
Full
safe-
range.
Well, they
Okay.
say safe, affordable, effective, non-abortifacient.
Okay, it says non-abortifacient.
Yeah,
It's
but
still
then again, if you,
objectionable? It's still objectionable to you?
it's a contradiction, Your Honor. If you refer to a full range of family planning methods, necessarily that will include hormonal contraceptives. Then how
So
can
if
that
you say
be
that the full range,
non-abortifacient?
that the meaning of full range, because of the word here, non-abortifacient, does not include any abortifacient device, drug, or supply. That's okay with you? We will
As
say in
long
our
as-
decision that the full range means that does not include abortifacient drug supplies and devices. That's okay with you?
So as long as the full range doesn't refer to hormonal contraceptives and IUDs,
No, non-abortifacient. Because we cannot say that this drug causes abortion or not. We don't have that knowledge right now. We don't have that competence. You have to start at FDA. Prove it there. All we can say is anything that causes abortion will not be allowed. That's the only thing we can say. So we will say that the full range of safe and so on does not include drugs or supplies that causes abortion. That's okay?
yes. So
That's okay with
and
you.
then leaving it to FDA to determine.
Okay. Because the law already said it should not cause abortion, non-abortifacient. So that full range does not include anything that causes abortion, by definition, in the law. Okay, what else? What other provision?
So there's a repetition again of provision of, well, it says ethical, medically. I'm referring to section D, 4.
4D.
And again, third line, reproductive health care services and supplies. So when you talk of reproductive health care and supplies, then you're talking of a full range of.
So we will say it does not include anything that causes abortion. That's okay with you?
But then the problem there, Your Honor, is that includes hormonal contraceptives and IUDs, which, like IUDs, I suppose,
Yes,
Your
but
Honor.
we cannot determine that here. We will have to let the FDA determine that, and then we can review it. You cannot just come here and say that this device causes abortion. We don't know. You have to start at the FDA.
There's extensive documentation to that effect,
Yes,
Your
but
Honor.
you cannot present that here. You start with the trial court.
Well, by that time, Your Honor, a lot of
but that is-
unborn will have been
but we don't
protected,
have
Your Honor.
Evidence
Will
to
not have
receive.
been
We
protected.
don't have jurisdiction to receive evidence here.
But then again, if Your Honor, please, we
In
can
other
always.
words, if you want us to do that, then you are admitting that you have come here prematurely. You have not filed your case at the proper court.
If Your Honor, please, if we did that, and this is also accepted in the case of North Cotabato, in the concurring opinion of Chief Justice Puno, when he said, delayed rendition of
Yes,
justice.
But we do not have. We are not doctors. We are not technologists here. And you want us to accept evidence directly.
If Your Honor, please, there have been a lot of instances in the past when technical rules of procedure have been waived by the court
Okay.
in order to, render justice immediately, Your Honor. And since we're coming here, asserting, Your Honor, that right to life is at stake here, then we are hoping that would be taken into consideration very seriously by this honorable court.
Okay, let's proceed, counsel. What other provisions? Okay. Counsel, just put it in a memorandum form. Include it in your memorandum.
Yes, Your Honor. We'll do that.